This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Hello, everybody, to 19 Cats and Counting. I'm your host, Rita Reimers, flying solos. Linda still out with the dreaded COVID-19. I have an extra special guest on my show today, Dean Nicholson. You might remember seeing his video last year. Cycling around the world, he picked up a little hitchhiker. I'll be back to tell you more about it right after this break and introduce you to Dean and Nala. Cleaning up after 19 cats is stinky business. And if you have a cat like me, you know that nothing smells worse than a wet litter box. Luckily, Arm & Hammer has a solution. New Absorbex cat litter made with desert dry minerals. It absorbs wetness in seconds, taking that wet odor out of the picture. Go to armandhammer.com/bounty and get $4 off your box of quick absorbing Absorbex and have a nice dry day. New Absorbex from Arm & Hammer. More power to you.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back to 19 Cats and Counting. As I promised, an extra special guest today, Dean Nicholson and his kitty Nala, who was picked up during his cycling around the world. I remember when that video came out, it moved me so much, that itty bitty little kitty. How did she ever get your attention?
She caught my attention. I was cycling up through Bosnia. I was going up quite a steep hill. I had my music on in the back of my bike quite loud, and then just a wee faint in the distance, just a meow screaming out at the top of her lungs. So I pulled the bike over and pulled her outside the road, and then I had this wee a wee scruffy kitten chasing me, and that was it. The bond was made from that moment on.
She really wanted your attention. You often still wonder how she got out there. From reading her book, it sounds like she was sent there specially for you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think she was sent there. I think someone must have dumped her, I think, because it was just in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
12 miles. But, I mean, I was there at the right place, right time, just to go past her, and that was it. Picked her up and put her on the bike, and then we went for a cycle down the road, and then she was trying to get out of the basket that I put her in. And then 10 minutes later, she climbed up onto my shoulder and fell asleep while I was cycling. And then that was it.
I was reading your wonderful book last night, Nala's World, which we'll talk more about. I was laughing at the part where you were feeding her pesto, because I knew that was going to come back to haunt you.
I never knew at the time, and pesto's the only thing I had on me at the time.
Right. And
she was loving it, she was lapping it up, finished the whole jar. And then, that night, an unpleasant surprise.
Yeah.
Back.
So you became a parent, really, right then. How did she change your trip and the goals you were trying to accomplish during the trip? It's like she became your ambassador.
My goals, I just wanted to get across the world. I had the dream of cycling to Thailand, sitting on a beach, drinking out a coconut. But when I found her, obviously I had to look after her, had to get her vaccinations right, which all takes time. And then as soon as she climbed up on my shoulder when I was cycling, that was me. I fell in love with her, and that was it. I just had to slow my trip down and just go at her pace.
It's like you totally changed the meaning of your trip, not just the pace.
Yes, totally.
I think with her, you probably got to meet more people than you would have on your own. What do you think that's true?
Yeah, definitely. I'm a big guy, tattoos. Not many people were stopping to talk to me when I was cycling, but when you've got a cat sitting on your shoulder, walking into shops or cycling down the street, so many people stop and want to know the story.
Right. It automatically makes you approachable because the cat trusts you. And then, even if they'd wanted to approach you if you weren't with the cat, there's nothing there to break the ice. And Nala was there to break the ice for you.
Very good icebreaker. Very good icebreaker.
What surprised you the most about cats? Had you ever had a cat for a pet before?
Nope. I've had stick insects, I've had chickens, had fish, tropical fish. I've had dogs my entire life. I've always been a dog person, and then first ever cat.
I was surprised she traveled so well with you and didn't try to jump out of the basket she was in.
Well, I think she was just looking for a companion at the same time, and I was just the one to cross her path exact same time, and it was a perfect match.
Did it surprise you that cats are as bonded to humans as they are?
Yep, totally. I thought cats my entire life. I grew up thinking cats, they'll scratch your furniture, they'll go away half the time and come back just to get fed. But the personality on Nala it's unbelievable. She's just a beautiful cat.
She really is. And I can tell she loves you a lot. Seeing a man with a cat, it really helps other guys to understand that they're not the elusive creatures that everyone thinks they are. They can really be bonded to you and they can be good companions.
Yeah. I mean, brilliant companion. She's perfect cycling with because during the day she just sleeps all the time, and she gets up when she wants something. She lets me know, and it's very easy to read her body language, and she's just perfect.
I love how you took the time to understand her body language and what she's trying to tell you. Look how beautiful. How old is she now?
She is 2 on the 2nd of October, so I'm trying to figure out a birthday present for her.
Oh, I love it. She'll love anything you give her as long as it's not pesto.
No,
Well, she'd probably like that too, but you wouldn't like it so much.
I wouldn't like it in the middle of the night.
Oh my goodness. So you guys are traveling now. You're in Austria now, is that correct?
Yep, Austria now.
So how far along are you on your trek around the world, or are you just not even counting it like that anymore? Are you just taking...
No, there's no timeline.
Mhm.
I plan to, I would love to cycle around the world, and I've not really went far compared to where I started now. Now I'm back in Austria.
Mhm.
It's just all playing it by ear with COVID and everything that's going on. So.
Oh, I know. It's awful. I haven't left my house very much to speak of in the last several months. My best friend, who I love it.
I just be 2 seconds and just open the door.
She wants something, doesn't she? So Nala has got Dean well trained, you see. He heard her meow and she wanted something. What did she want, Dean?
Our toilet's upstairs. It's not in the bedroom.
Oh.
So she must have the toilet just now.
She really does let you know when she wants something.
Yep, and it's the same on the bike as well. She sleeps most of the time in her basket.
Mm-hmm.
And when she wakes up, most of the time she sits with her paws out the front, just sniffing the air. But if she wants a drink, she licks my lip.
I read that.
Yeah, she does that. If she needs a toilet, she wants out. So it's just all about reading her language.
So you have like the best world. You don't have to have a litter box.
Nah, she can choose wherever she wants to go. And she buddies it as well, so...
Even when you're staying at someone's house, she wants to go out like a dog. She doesn't need a litter box.
Yeah, she goes outside when we're staying. But we've stayed in this house for quite a few weeks now, so they've got cats as well, the people who own this house. She's got a litter box now.
How does she get along with the other cats?
It's strange because one of the cats is really quite old. I think they said about 17.
Oh.
And Nala's got so much respect for it. So the cat comes in and she goes over, and then you can just see by her body language that she doesn't want to play. She just looks, smells it, and then walks away. Mm-hmm. But the other one, Sammy, he's a big guy. She plays with him a wee bit, tries to wind him up, chase him a wee bit. So
the girls rule the roost, right? It's the same with any species, human, cat, dog. Yep, the females rule the worst. I'm just kidding. It's great that she can get along with other animals, too. You picked up another little hitchhiker along the way, a little puppy.
Yep, Baloo. We found him in Albania. What happened there again? Just basically, I forgot my lunch one day, and it got to about 1 o'clock, and I was really needing something to eat. And there was this orange tree I could see in a field. Mm-hmm. I went over, and then there was just this wee, about 3-4 week old puppy lying there, just full of mange.
Oh.
So I went over. I told Nala on the bike, I was like, you're going to have to go in the carrier for a wee bit, give him your space, and then got him to the vet, and he's now living in London now.
Yeah, I was reading. I was wondering if that adoption came through, because I haven't read the second part of your book yet.
There we go. But yeah, someone took him on in London, and the pictures of him now is just such a beautiful dog. Just the colours that's came through on his fur, he's just gorgeous.
I saw the photo in your book. He is beautiful. And again, there's so many homeless dogs and cats, and why people drive way out in the wilderness to dump them is beyond me. When there's people who would give them a home if they could, if they knew.
There's so many homeless animals, especially down this part of the world where I was cycling. They're just on the streets and just really badly neglected. But more
It's
awareness.
bad here too. It's bad here too. But you were in Greece, and Greece, they love their cats in Greece. There's a lot of street cats now, and I understand that a lot of the people have taken to taking care of those cats and making sure they're spayed and neutered and vetted and that they've got food. Did you come across that when you were in Greece?
There's still a big problem in Greece with stray animals.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of stray cats and dogs on the street. But there's still quite a lot from what I can remember.
It's really sad. Nala's very lucky she came upon you, and I don't remember what I was asking you when she decided she wanted your attention. So when you go on these journeys, do you always take Nala with you, or do you ever leave her behind? She's always your...
No, I basically travel full time.
Mhm.
So I just go out on the bike and she's always with me. She sits, I've got her whole basket's kitted out, so it's comfy for her, can keep her warm. She's got an umbrella if it rains, a waterproof cover, and she's got everything in there that she needs.
She doesn't ever try to jump out while you're cycling?
She's almost jumped out a few times, and that's been because a butterfly has flew in front of us and she's tried to jump and catch it.
Yeah, that can't resist
She's
those.
got a harness, and then she's also attached to the bike, especially when we're on busy roads. I keep her attached just in case.
Yeah, you went through some pretty bad storms with her, and it sounds like she didn't get scared. She just kept herself under cover.
Aye, storms. I hate the weather. See, when you're cycling in thunderstorms, it's just so wet, and cold. But she's fine. She just sleeps. We've been camping out in the middle of thunderstorms, and she's not fazed by it at all. She just curls up and enjoys it.
That's just amazing, because my cats, if there's even a hint of rain, they're all hiding.
Even
They're such
fireworks.
babies.
The fireworks at New Year, we were in Albania, and she didn't mind at all. She just...
Wow. She's a cool cat, literally.
She's very cool.
What's the weather like where you are now? I know suddenly it's really fall here in the States. It's gotten cold. I had to put my heat on this morning.
It's very nice. It's sunny. I can't remember. In fact, the last time I seen rain was when I went home a few weeks ago. Mm-hmm. I went home to visit the family, took Nala. Yeah,
I'll bet they loved it.
My gran's 91 years old now, and she can't hear and see very well. So when I was FaceTiming them back home, my gran was always asking to see Nala. And I thought I would take Nala to see my gran. So just been home.
I bet she loved all the attention, didn't she?
Oh, aye. She loved the attention. Apart from, my dad's really allergic to cats, for short-haired animals, so he couldn't.
I just rescued a cat. He's been here 2.5 weeks. He's very old. Somebody kicked him out, and he just came into my office. Hi! He's still getting acclimated here. Maxwell.
Is he still getting used to the house, the setup?
He just jumped up in the chair. The vet guessed he was about 12 years old, but he looks more like 15. His owner died, and the family didn't want him, and they just shoved him outside. So
very nice.
So he joined my family here. My cats have been very understanding that he needs a little bit more. Just like you were saying with Nala, like she knows that older cat can't really play.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't believe it just watching her behaviour. And so they must be able to know by the smell or...
They seem to know, because my cats don't really try to mess with him too much either.
How many cats do you have?
Can you see him? There he is, right there.
Oh, yeah.
Maxwell! He's got a little on his side that we treated, and he had his whole neck. He looked like he'd had a fight with a feral cat over some food. But all his tests are perfect, so hopefully he'll be here for quite a while. They can live quite old. They can live to be quite old.
I've heard that people say they've got cats into their 20s, so...
I hope Nala lives forever. Let's take a small break, and then I want to come back and ask you more about your website and your future plans. And I understand you have a Nala calendar. I want to hear all about that. We'll be right back after this short message from one of our wonderful sponsors.
It's October, and there are spooky scares everywhere. When it comes to your dog's everyday health, you don't have to be spooked when you have Daily Dose. Daily Dose is a 2-in-1 dog chew that pairs a powerful dental scrub with vet-developed supplements for full body health and seriously clean smiles. Now pay attention. Through October 31st, enter for a chance to win all 4 bags of Daily Dose in calming, joint, heart, and skin health. Just post a picture of your pup smile with the hashtag Serious Smile Sweeps to any of Pet Life Radio's Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook pages. Good luck!
Visit yourpetsdailydose.com to save $3 on your first bag with promo code PETLIFE. That's yourpetsdailydose.com.
Let's talk pets
Let's talk pets
on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
And we're back with 19 Cats and Counting, and Dean's trying to get Nala back in the room, but she's off frolicking somewhere while we talk about her. Maybe she didn't want to hear what we had to say, I don't know.
Disappeared.
So you had all along an Instagram page, One Bike, One World. And now you have a website, One Bike, One World. That's become your brand.
Yep.
And besides the new book about Nala, which is awesome, you guys need to read Nala's World, people can visit onebikeoneworld.com and also order a Nala calendar. How did that come to be? And I want one. I'm going to order one.
The calendar came about last year. It was just the pictures of Nala on Instagram are just getting that such a big response, a good response. So I thought a good way to make money for charity would be to bring out a calendar. So I've got one of the old ones here.
Yes, absolutely.
There we go. And then that raised £100,000 for charities last year, which was brilliant.
I love that. And you've got this wonderful woman who does the cartoons, the caricatures for you. How did you meet up with her?
Just one day when I think I was in Santorini, and she just drew a picture one day and sent it to me, and I loved it. Asked her to draw one for my family. She done that, and then she started doing wee comics, like a daily comic, and that was it. The rest of it, she just started taking on the role as doing my own comic every day.
I love that. You've met all kinds of people from all over the world. Have you come to appreciate cultural differences and really find that most people are basically the same in their heart?
Everybody I've met has just been so friendly. You sort of get a wee problem if you speak to people next to the borders. Mm-hmm. Like people in Greece were saying, don't go to Turkey. The people in Turkey were saying, don't go to Greece. But when you cross over, they're just so friendly. They're just like me, just lovely people, big hearts.
Yeah, if you put the politics aside and take people just as people, that's a whole different way to get to know them.
Politics aside, they're all brilliant people. And I think you still need to have a bit of cultural divide, because that's what's interesting with the world. Like different food and music and that. But yeah, definitely need that. You're
really getting to meet more types of people than most people would in their lifetime and really experience new cultures.
Yeah, I'm experiencing them all over. And some of the friendliest people are the ones you wouldn't expect to be friendly. Like when I went to Azerbaijan or Turkey, Georgia, they were just so friendly, and you would always be greeted on the street with a cup of tea or some raki, some homemade alcohol.
I love that. I wish everybody could experience that, because maybe the world would be a different place if we all met people as they live day to day.
I mean, there's so many friendly people out there that I think the best thing to do is just to switch off the news and stop reading all negative news and just get out there and enjoy the world. And
do you plan to get over to the States at all?
Yeah. I mean, my goal is I would like to go to Thailand first. I'd like to go down that area. So I've got my plan is, if coronavirus lets me, to go across Russia in April next year, and then down Southeast Asia, do a bit of Australia, then fly back over and do Canada and America, and then down South America.
Oh, that would be awesome. Well, if you come anywhere near where I am, I definitely want to meet you. And you and Nala have an open invitation if you are in the Charlotte, North Carolina area to come and stay with me and my kitties. Nala might feel overwhelmed with my 19 cats and counting. Well, it's now 20 with Maxwell.
Oh, no, we stayed with someone in Greece and she had about 70 cats.
Really?
Aye, 70 cats. Jeannie, she was mad. She was from Scotland as well, and she's done a sanctuary over there. She had donkeys, ducks, chickens, dogs.
I love it. Where I live kind of in a semi-rural area, and my neighbors behind me have horses, and my neighbors next to me have chickens. It's almost like living in the country. And of course, I have my 20 cats. I'm just watching one of them jump in the window. I didn't set out to be the crazy cat lady, but when you work in rescue, as I'm sure, you know, I remember when you were talking to the veterinarian that treated the puppy, and he said he'd have 40 dogs if he could. And that's what happens when you work in rescue or work with animals.
Aye, because they've all got every animal's got a brilliant personality when you get to know it, or what animal it is. I mean, we used to have a cow on one of the farm I worked on, and it was just a brilliant cow. Loved the attention, came up for cuddles, would sit down with you in the day. It was brilliant.
I love it. And, you know, my Max is 20. That's why his name is Maxwell 20.
Yeah.
That's it. But, you know, if I had the means and I had more people here to help me with my rescue, I'd probably have twice as many. But, you know, you've got to have time to give them love and attention, as I'm sure you found from Nala. She's probably a lot more demanding than you thought a kitty would be.
Aye. I mean, I give her 24. I give her all my attention like I can, especially when I'm on the road.
Right.
As long as she's happy, then I'm just good to keep doing what I'm doing and cycling and enjoying it.
How did you manage to, I know some countries require quarantining when you bring an animal through. How did you get around those requirements, or did that passport exempt you from that?
Yeah, so I've got her passport here. And basically, as soon as I got her, and I smuggled her through the first border, which I shouldn't have done.
No.
I needed to hide her. So I got her through, and then basically started getting all her JAGs or rabies vaccination. And I got her a wee microchip in her neck. And then basically, if you keep that passport up to date, you're good to go into every country.
That's great, because sometimes people will come to me and say, I had a lady come to me recently and say she wanted to move to Australia, but she was afraid that they would put her cats in this long quarantine and that it would be harder on them. So that's good to know about the passport. What do you have to do to keep it up to date?
I think Australia, you need to go into quarantine. I'm pretty sure you've got to go in there. Keep up to date, you just go. For me to get into a new country, I've got to go to the vet, and the vet's just got to have a look over Nala to make sure there's no like obvious disease, and she's healthy. But every time we go through there, she gets a clean bill of health and she's good to go. She hates the vets though. She knows as soon as she goes in there, she can just sense the smell. The vets actually treat her when she's on my shoulder because she can't do anything. So.
And plus, you know, like you said, the smell, and then other dogs barking and other animals, I'm sure it's not the best experience. I have a home vet come for my kitties, but there's some things you've got to go to the office for.
Yep,
you know, there's just no way around it. So it was brilliant. Whatever veterinarian told you about the passport, that was so brilliant on their part, because now you're all set. You can go anywhere.
Yeah, go anywhere as far as I'm aware. And to be honest with you, all the borders I've crossed, the only one that has really checked it is going back into the UK, my home country. That's been it. So not many people even bat an eyelid. In fact, to be honest with you, some of the security guards come out, the border patrol picture with Nala.
Was your heart in your throat the first time that you went through, even with the passport, that you went through and actually let the guards see you had Nala? Were you nervous about that?
Oh, yeah, totally. Because I thought, what happens if something's wrong? I'd already basically fallen in love with her, so I didn't want her to be taken away. I didn't want anything like that to happen. So, it was a relief getting through. And they actually just smiled, and they look at them and they quite enjoy it after that.
Right. Well, smuggling her through must have been nerve-wracking. So at least having the right paperwork, that took one worry off your shoulders.
The smuggling part was a wee bit.
So this trip didn't turn out exactly how you envisioned it, but it's taken on a whole new meaning for you. What was your goal in the beginning versus what is your goal with this trip now?
Like I was saying, goal in the beginning was just to get across the world and still meet people at the same time. I was looking forward to stuff like running out of money, so you have to interact with people a lot more. But now the goal is I would just like to bring so now I've got this platform, is to bring a lot of awareness for animals around the world, the voiceless animals, and the environment as well.
I love that you're very aware of other issues like pollution and conservation. I love the story in your book where you went and just took it upon yourself to clean up the beach.
Yep, I mean, we camp a lot on the beaches as well, and the beaches are just, honestly, they're filthy, just full of plastic.
So sad.
When I was in Santorini, when we were kayaking, me and Tony, the kayak tour guide, we were just constantly picking plastic bags out of the water. And the fish and the animals and the whales, dolphins don't realise that that's actual plastic. It's food, jellyfish, so they're eating them and then sadly they're dying. So it'd be good to make an impact on that as well.
And two, people should think about it, because if you eat wild-caught fish or wild-caught salmon or anything like that, they're eating that plastic out there. So you're eating it too.
Basically, if you're eating that, it's going straight into you. So good for the world or the environment.
I love that you're bringing that awareness. And I will be sure to watch your website. And I just liked you on Facebook. I already was following you on Instagram, but Facebook seems to be where I spend the most time. So I will definitely be watching your journey, and whatever help you need you know, you need somebody over here to talk about some of your causes or interests, I'd love to have you back on the show. And hopefully Nala will make a more prominent appearance next time.
Disappeared. It must be one of the cats must be upstairs. It's just chasing or something.
Well, mine too. They don't. My sweetie pie is over here. I wish she'd come over here. But if I'm wanting them on camera, they're nowhere around. If I don't want them on camera, usually I have a tail slapping me in the face.
I know. Normally, as soon as I start a phone call, she comes over and she wants all the attention, and you're sitting there trying to headbutt the cat.
Well, so now you have this platform and this audience. What would you like people to know about you, Nala, about the world?
Just basically everything that's going on, all the negative stuff in the world just now. If you're looking for a happy story and to just to enjoy our journey, just follow us, and we'll always try and do the right thing with animals and bring awareness and that stuff like that.
Well, I would love to have you back on the show again. I'm going to finish the other half of the book probably after we get off the phone. My editor will kill me because I'm due for a column, but I want to write that. I want to finish reading this. Do you think you'll write more books about your experiences traveling?
Yeah, definitely. The thing I want to do next is I want to get into children's books, because I feel like if you do it, I will turn Nala into a cartoon character, basically in Nala's Adventures, and I want to have a cartoon series coming out about Nala. You could have it like save it the plastic pollution and that, and basically teaching the kids at a young age the right thing to do. So I'd like to do that. So there'll be more books.
That's a fabulous idea. I've long said that I wanted to do something in the schools teaching children about how to care for animals properly, and using Nala to bring children into the awareness about the environment and recycling and, you know, keeping your beaches clean. That's just going to be a win all the way around.
That's stray animals, refugees, just there's so many topics that you could cover and just help to try and teach the future generation the right stuff to do. And
right. Did you ever find out what happened to those refugees at that hotel you had pitched a tent at?
No, never found out about them at all. I'm going back down to Greece, so I might cycle past that way and pop in.
Just see what's up. Yeah, it did sound like things were changing, so I hope it was for their better. I hope they were able to, you know, settle in somewhere, because that's not a life either, being very unsettled in a camp.
They're really good people. They've got really good degrees in that for where they've came from. They're just looking for a better lifestyle. They've had their homes taken away from them through the governments and that, and it's just not a way to live. So they're just wanting a better life.
I know. It's hard to believe this stuff happens still in this day and age. And hopefully you'll bring more awareness and we can work together to do something about it. Any last thoughts for us before I let you go find Nala and continue on your journey? She says, no, I'm camera shy today. That's okay. We know how beautiful she is. I hope everybody will go out and buy your book. So I just wanted to wrap up and say thank you so much for saving Nala and Baloo and for being such a positive influence on the world.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to talk to you.
It's been a pleasure to talk to you too. Thank you so much, Dean and Nala, for being my special guest. As always, thank you to my awesome producer, Mark Winter, for giving me this platform. And please visit onebikeoneworld.com, order that calendar. All proceeds go to charity. Thanks so much, Dean.
Thank you. Cheers.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.